everybody. Welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson,
I'm Tom Hoblin.
and we're talking the Charlotte Roval, one of the wildest races, I would say, that is in the NASCAR playoffs for us. It just a lot going on there, a lot of craziness, a lot of guys who usually are not good at road courses struggle here, and we'll see them get eliminated. It's elimination weekend for the
A lot of
Xfinity Series.
emotions
Yeah.
happened to come out. It's where we got Merry Christmas, Happy Off Season. It's where we got to see Chase Elliott go straight onto the wall and then still win somehow.
Do a burnout. Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson's thing. F1 could never, is all I'm saying.
No.
Tune into the Roval. Even with this car that doesn't race well on road courses, this is going to be wild.
Mm-hmm. Elimination weekend for both Xfinity and Cup Series.
I mean, we had that Xfinity race where they refused to stop it even though it was pouring down rain.
It was oh my god.
It was wild. I love a bit of rain on a road course, but that was too much.
That's just too dangerous. That was like a Coda situation where you almost killed Cole Custer and Martin Truex.
Yeah.
But let's talk racing. We got the Xfinity Series and Cup Series both running this weekend. And with the Xfinity Series, we got the Drive. What's up?
Stage cautions are back for this course race.
Stage cautions are back, which I think is completely dumb.
And they moved the restart zone again.
Right. Yeah. So now they used to come the real on the oval track for restarts, and that would cause chaos for them being at a completely different speed and having to change their braking point for one lap to restart the race. But now it's going to cause chaos in another bit where the back end of the field is just kind of screwed for these restarts. So that's something to keep an eye on. Track position choose rule is going to be very important, because choosing outside versus inside, outside may be advantageous or whatever, or inside may be advantageous. Like maybe you want to be on the inside, but only 2 cars pick the outside lane and 5 pick the inside lane. And you're like, well, I don't want to start 6th in the chicane. I'm going to start on the outside, take my chances, and be out of chicane for the restart. So something to keep an eye on. Yeah, going to be really crazy. So for the Xfinity Series, we got the Drive for the Cure 250, 155 miles, 67 laps. Stages 1 and 2 are 20 laps each, and the final is 27. AJ Allmendinger has won the last 4 races here at the Roval, but he's a full-time Cup Series driver now, so he will not be competing in this one. Some notables that we have in the race: Jordan Taylor, he will be coming into the 11 for Colleague Racing. IMSA driver, great to see him running another road course. We saw him run the 9 for Chase Elliott at Circuit of the Americas earlier this year. Connor Daly, he's going to be running the 53 for Emmerling Gase Motorsports, IndyCar driver, another guy you'll love to see come into this sport. And then Myatt Snyder, he'll be driving the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. So, buddy,
what does the 250 stand for?
250 kilometers.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
That's the way they do it with like road courses. Like if they want to make it seem like it's still
no.
race.
I'm gonna level you. I kind of tuned out everything for a second that you just said after you said it's the Drive for the Cure 250 and it's 155 miles and 67 laps. I was like, where the hell did I get 250 from? But okay, yeah. Anyways, I'm back on track. On track.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I know. That always kind of throws me off, like, oh no, it's 250 kilometers. I'm like, guys, come on, this is America. Like,
yeah, well,
just call it the 155. I don't give a shit.
We're doing a Frankenstein together racetrack, so might as well Frankenstein together the race distances.
Might as well.
If you're labeling it as the 250, why say it's 155 miles? Just label it as 250 kilometers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've derailed this whole thing. Who do I think is going to win? Who I think is going to win?
Who you got, buddy?
We got a cutoff race here, I believe, and there's some people looking down bad. We saw it in the Cup Series last year. Somebody had to win to move on, and they did. Christopher Bell did, and Sam Mayer, I think, has the ability to win. As much as I don't like the guy, and I've said it before, I think with what we've seen from him this year, his aggression's up, his racecraft is up. when he needs it to be. Again, he's going to be hungry out there. You just don't want him to do another Texas and take himself out early, because again, he knows what he needs to do. He needs to go out and win. So hopefully that's going to change out his craft. And I think if he can survive stage 1, he will win this race in the 1 car, Sam Mayer.
All right, solid pick, man. I gotta go for a guy who's also been pretty solid on road courses, especially in the truck series where he got a win at Mid Ohio. I gotta go for Parker Kligerman. I mean, there's another guy. He is just 1 point below the cutoff line. He needs to have a great race. He needs to get those stage points. Just needs to just be in the top 5 the entire time. Just do what he does and just stay out of trouble towards the end of the race, because that's usually what we see with Parker Kligerman is that it's always just checkers or wreckers at the end for him. And
he doesn't need to go set the world on fire. Again, he's 1 point out. He knows what he needs to do, but also he's a race car driver and he's a damn good one. And even if he's not in the best equipment, he's going to go lay it on the line and go out there. Again, you'd hate to see hit. If he does, we mentioned Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson earlier. Jimmy Johnson went for the win, knocked himself out of the playoffs. You'd hate to see that happen for Parker in something like this. So hopefully he keeps a level head, which usually he will. He will. So that, yeah, I think that's another solid pick. And they've just been getting closer and closer on these road courses this year for big machine racing. I think that's solid.
All right, man. Well, with that being said, this is a cutoff race for the Xfinity Series. Who are your 4 drivers that will not be making it into the round of 8 starting next weekend?
Sheldon Creed, Daniel Hemrick, Jeb Burton, Josh Berry. Josh Berry needed to make a lot more happen on the ovals, and he just hasn't had the pace this year. Just all season we've seen it. Didn't even have a win. If I legitimately think Sam Mayer has a chance and can win this race, so that would move him up, meaning that would move the cut line down to Daniel Hemrick where it is currently. And then Parker is suddenly 9 points out. But I think Parker Kligerman scores stage points and races for the win. I think Parker Kligerman can point his way in. I honestly think that's where they should be focusing. It's too risky to put all your eggs in the win basket for somebody who's 1 point out. Especially with the stage cautions, it's either stage points or go for the win. So that being said, if those situations hold true and Sam Mayer can't pull off the victory, that would leave Sheldon Creed, Daniel Hemrick, Jeb Burton, Josh Berry on the short end of the stick.
Okay.
I mean, you got Allgaier and Nemechek have wins. They're through. Cole Custer's 63 points to the good, and he's on a road course. He'll be fine.
Probably just needs to start the race and he'll be locked in.
Austin Hill, 44 points to the good is fine. Chandler Smith, 32. Still probably fine. Again, you're worried about Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, Daniel Hemrick. Sammy Smith's 18 points. Again, he doesn't need to go set the world on fire. So you have a good solid day and get some stage point buffers. So yeah, that's where my head's at.
Okay. Yeah, I got Parker Kligerman winning, so he's going to advance. I think Daniel Hemrick, he's not really good at road courses. He is going to have a rough race. He's going to be eliminated. I got Jeb Burton, Josh Berry, and Sam Mayer. I think Sam Mayer is just a little too reckless still. I think he's going to do something stupid. Like you said, pull a Jimmy Johnson, get real desperate for that last position. So yeah, I mean, we know Jeb Burton. There's no speed in that 27 with him, especially at the road courses. Josh Berry has been nowhere near what we saw last year. I think he's just, I don't know, maybe with the news of him taking over the 4, maybe it's just gotten to his head a little bit and kind of put a little bit more pressure on him. That
again, Junior Motorsports hasn't been as good this year either. So
the whole team's
there's probably a little bit of that.
Yeah,
and then you mentioned like it was Allmendinger who won like the last 4 of these or something.
Yeah.
Like you said, so Daniel Hemrick is not AJ Allmendinger, and colleague is not what it has been in recent years. So I don't really see a feasible way of Daniel Hemrick getting out of this unless he stays out and steals stage points. And even then, who knows what calamity that the Xfinity Series will bring.
Right. Well, time shall tell. Should be an exciting race this weekend, but let's talk Cup. We got the Bank of America 400 400 kilometers, Tom. Just
400
want to let you know,
kilometers.
but
Thank
it's
you.
248 miles, 109 laps. Stages 1 and 2 are 25 laps each, and the final will be 59 laps. And we got some heavy hitters in this one. Mike Rockenfeller is going to be back in the 42 for Legacy Motor Club.
Because Carson Hocevar doesn't need to learn how to run road courses in the Cup. Like, sure, they want to go for wins and Legacy's going fast, but I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't Carson Hocevar fight for that one? But
yeah,
I guess
maybe
he's not in control of that situation. So that's a dumb point. I'm gonna retract that whole statement.
I think it just might have been something that they already had set with Mike Rockenfeller that he was going to be running this one. And
Fair
then
enough.
Austin Hill's going to be running the 62 in this race, which I thought was a little strange because usually Beard Motorsports usually only comes around in like super speedways. And I think they did Kansas and Atlanta this year also as well. And then Zane Smith is going to be in the 38 and Todd Gelland will be in the 51.
Okay. It's one of those races again. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So you made your pick first. I'm going to go first this time. I'm going to go with the guy who won the last 4 races on the Roval in the Xfinity Series, AJ Allmendinger. I mean, this guy, this place is just his home. He knows how to take care of it. I got really nothing else to back it up with. The guy is just fucking good here.
Right. I want to just caution you a little bit because we hear this every week. We're coming up to a road course race, so we hear, oh, AJ Allmendinger will be fine, but just the team worries me. The speed in the car worries me.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that incident at Indy, and he was flying through the field, and then just got taken out by a frustrated Ryan Blaney. So you hope they've finally figured it out for the last one of the year. I don't think it's a bad pick for sure, but we gotta talk about colleague racing more than AJ Allmendinger not having the skill to get around here.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, same scenario that we were talking about with the Xfinity Series.
Hold on. I gotta pick a winner here.
Oh,
I gotta pick
a winner.
I
just wanted to go right over you.
That's
all right,
fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm just more cheering for the chaos that is the Roval. But I'm going to pick a non-playoff driver. I'm going to pick a rookie. It's Ty Gibbs. There's really no other rookies around anymore. Ty Gibbs. Yeah, I think he's been showing increasing amount of speed on road courses this year. And I think it's a solid bet that he's going to be up front. I mean, Denny Hamlin said he was learning stuff from him at Watkins Glen. So it's not quite out of the question that Ty Gibbs could get his first career win. His first career NASCAR win was in his first start, which was at a Roval at Daytona. I'm feeling Ty Gibbs for some reason. My gut's just telling me, and I'm heating up. I'm on a hot streak. I picked the winning team of the Truck Series last week. I picked the winner of the Cup Series race last week. I'm feeling good. So I'm going a little nuts with Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs here. Also, just realized now that I'm picking Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs.
What a good combination for the weekend.
You know, if it's one, then the other would just make sense. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, now let's talk who we think are going to get eliminated. I'll go first this time. My 4 drivers, I think that will not be making the round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. I think Tyler Reddick is going to have a strong race here at the Roval. We see him just really, really good at these road courses. I think he's going to advance his way through. I think Brad Keselowski's going to get eliminated. He hasn't really been that good on the road courses for the past few years. Bubba Wallace, sorry, bud. It was a good run, but you needed a hell of a race at Talladega to make your way through. And we know Bubba on these road courses. I mean, he could surprise us. He's been good pretty much everywhere this year.
Well, yeah, Bubba finished 7th or 11th at Watkins Glen, and that was a good survival day, and he barely skirted into the playoffs.
Need a little bit more than that.
It's just not going to be enough. The Bubba success on a road course is not going to be enough to advance in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I agree 100% with that one.
And then my other 2 guys, Chastain and Busch. I mean, they dug themselves into a hole. I mean, Chastain's not in a big hole. He's only 10 points below the cutoff line. But I've said this before, Chastain is the kind of guy when it starts to get desperate. He's going to do something stupid, just like what we saw at Martinsville last year. So I don't know, man. I think that basically these three guys and add in Keselowski, that is your four that will not see the round of 8 next week.
Okay. I agree with all four of those. That's my pick too. But I want to talk. There's a lot more to discuss just with how tight these points are. Martin Truex Jr. has not been running well.
Mm-hmm.
He's 17 points to the good. Ross Chastain has been showing excellent speed. Not to say he's back or anything.
Right.
But Ross Chastain could make up 10 points. With the stage cautions, Bubba Wallace could go for stage points. Suddenly he gets 5 stage points in stage 1 and 4 stage points in stage 2. He's right there at the cut line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, barring none of these other guys go for stage points. So there's Tyler Reddick again, 2 points. Has to gain 2 points on Brad Keselowski. Done, easy at a road course. I think that's a given that will happen.
Right.
But there's a non-zero chance that the 1 or the 23 car could dump the 19 car out of the playoffs, and that would be an insane story. So while I agree that I think Brad, Bubba, Ross, and Kyle Busch are going to be out, I don't realistically see Kyle Busch pulling together the speed. They've had speed on road courses, but they haven't been qualifying well in the playoffs at all. And it's really hard to pass, especially with this car on this track. So I don't see Kyle Busch as much as it pains me to say. But again, Ross Chastain could be aggressive. Bubba Wallace could pull a miracle out of his bum again.
Mm-hmm.
I would be so happy to trade Bubba Wallace for Martin Truex Jr., to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, again, also not in a great spot. He was 300 feet from the finish line, going to get a top 10 this week. And he spun out, finished 15th. He was running 7th.
Yeah.
Spun out, finished 15th. And now, and again, that puts him from being 22 points to the good. He would have been second in the non-winning points for this round. And now, again, he's 2 spots above the cut line. Like that, just like that, that's how much it changed. So with the chaos that the Roval is, this could all go wild.
Yeah, everything is so close. Anything can happen.
I mean, Ross Chastain wins this race and Tyler Reddick moves up and somehow gains 15 points. You knock Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski. And Kyle Larson's in most people's championship fours. So I'd say Denny Hamlin's probably the only one comfortably safe in the Cup Series. For sure. He's plus 50. Christopher Bell is plus 22. Plus 22, I wouldn't even say is safe at the Roval. I mean, Christopher Bell knows that more than anybody. He was in a must-win situation last year, and he won the race.
I would say Denny just needs to get at least 1 or 2 stage points, and then he's locked in.
And Denny's going to qualify well. He's been qualifying well at road courses all year. So Denny's basically just going to have to stay out whenever he pits at stage 1, screw his track position, and he'll be a lock-in.
Yeah, man. Well,
it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of situations to watch. It's gonna be a fun race to take in yet again.
Roval just produces madness. We've seen that the past 4 years that they have been running here, 4 or 5 years, however long it's been now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wish the Roval a very last time we ever do it.
Yeah, it was fun while it went. It was different, but got a little stale. And just with how good this Charlotte Oval is, you gotta run it twice. It's just that good.
With this car and whatnot.
I would love to see another road course come in and take its spot. Like it would be cool to see Watkins Glen or Circuit of the Americas come in and take a playoff spot instead of the Roval. I think that'd be really cool, especially Watkins Glen. That's my favorite road course.
Yeah. Again, I probably when this is recording, if everything goes to plan, the schedule's already out, so we'll kind of know. But obviously, it's not out yet because we do things in advance here at the Stock Car Spectacle.
Yep, we ain't live like them left turn cult boys.
That's okay by me. It's okay by me. I won't say anything stupid that we can't edit out. But yeah, no, it's just the schedule is the big storyline of this week. But again, this Cup Series playoff is so tight. You never know what's really going to happen. When I tune in to watch the F1 race, I know what's going to happen. Mostly, I'm confident in my predictions, but for what? I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be.
No, it's with NASCAR, fuck, dude, especially here, anything can happen. I mean, first ever race that we had at the Roval, Jimmy Johnson takes out the leader, Martin Truex Jr., and they're both stopped in the grass. And here comes Ryan Blaney just to steal the win in third. Was he in the playoffs at that point? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. But the two big playoff points from that race that I still remember were Jimmy Johnson missing because of that, and then Kyle Larson in a damaged race car passed somebody who had spun out on the track on the final lap, and he wasn't even making minimum speed. He was bouncing off walls and whatnot.
Dude, he
got in by 1 point.
Finish.
He got in by 1 point. That was wild.
I think he had to pass Jeffrey Earnhardt, and that's when Jeffrey was running like the Hulu car when they made that little special about him.
yeah, it was a wild. That first race was wild. Again, next gen car, it can be just as wild, or it can be tame as hell. Who knows? But I think the big points from this one that we got to watch out for are if we get a lot of restarts, how that restart zone will affect things, and obviously the stage cautions and how that affects the strategy.
Yeah, man. Great point. And I think that's a great spot to end our show. But guys, we want you to let us know, comment down below who you think is going to win at the Roval this weekend and who you think is going to be our 4 drivers that will not see the round of 8 starting next week. So that'll do it for us at the Stock Car Spectacle. Tom, great show with you, buddy. Can't wait to see how this round of 12 ends up here. We know that the Roval is just going to produce madness.
Pleasure discussing with you as always. It's a lot of fun each and every week for me.
All right, guys, make sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram as well. That'll do it for us. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Tom Hovland.
We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the Roval.